Hey, no, Dave. Hey, Dave, what's happening?
Hey, Chris and Adelle. How are you?
Good. Awesome. So what do they say?
Great news. They accepted your offer.
No way. So, really?
Yes.
What happens next?
I'll drop the paperwork.
Awesome.
No problem.
Thanks, buddy.
Talk soon.
Did we just buy a boat?
You just bought a boat, baby.
I can't believe it.
Hold on. Maybe we should back up and tell the story from the beginning. Over the last 30 years, Adelle and I have always been looking for our next adventure, traveling and surfing the world and filling our scrapbooks with some amazing memories. All the while looking for that dream tropical paradise to move to and settle down with a surf break out front. Sailing was never on our radar until a trip to Fiji a decade ago. I met an Aussie while surfing the outer reefs, and he had bought a boat in Florida and had spent the last year learning to sail and surfing amazing spots on his journey back home. He had been anchored up at Musket Cove for a month and was living the life, surfing Cloudbreak and Tabarua reefs while paying $10 a day to use the resort facilities. The seed was planted, but that was a giant leap that we weren't quite ready for at this point in our life. We continued to travel and surf and spent a fair amount of time in Mexico and Central America looking for property. A friend of ours, Kevin, had taken up sailing, and within a few years, he headed out from Puerto Vallarta to circumnavigate the globe. This rekindled that spark about sailing and surfing around the world, and we came across some sailing and surfing YouTube channels like Breaking Waves, Parley Revival, and then down the rabbit hole with the Vagabonds, Delos, We Sailed, Winds, and more. It opened our eyes to a whole other world of adventures and opportunities. Well, I've done a lot of freshwater fishing and owned a smaller fishing boat and a dinghy sailboat. Neither of us had really sailed since we were kids, and not sure if catamaran booze cruises really count. So to test the waters, I booked a day sail and brought along our son Stone. It was on a 22-foot Catalina, and we had a great time and learned a lot from Captain Kevin, who, it turns out, works for the Coast Guard. There'll be more on him in another episode. A few days later, I went down to Granville Island to sign up for a 5-day cruising course and ran into an old friend of ours, Eugene. He was leaving the next day for a 2-week trip to Desolation Sound and invited me along. I cleared my schedule and I headed out the next day for my first big sailing adventure. I had an absolute amazing time, seeing our beautiful coast from a whole new perspective. I was hooked. The day after I got back, my course started and I was fully immersed in learning everything I could. My instructor, Rob, was fantastic, and I soaked up everything he said like a sponge. I was sending photos and messaging Adelle every day. By the time I got back, I didn't even have to convince Adelle to buy a boat. She was already on board and looking for boats on Yacht World. I continued some courses with navigation and VHF, and we checked out some local boats for sale, but there wasn't a lot available that met our criteria. We wanted something newer and hopefully more reliable, so we could spend more time learning to sail and less time fixing things. On my 50th birthday, the perfect boat showed up on Yacht World, a 2013 Jeannot Sun Odyssey 409 with only 50 hours on the engine and very limited use. The only downside was that it was located south of Seattle and the border was closed. We needed some help and called up a broker, David Warland from Grand Yachts. Dave gave us the rundown for buying a boat in the States, and with that, we put in an offer, and after some back and forth, it was accepted. Hey guys, we are off to go see our new boat for the sea trial. We're driving down the night before, just in time for winter. Snow's on the ground, and it's going to be a little bit of a chilly sail tomorrow, but looking forward to it and super excited to get into our new boat. Cheers. While we waited to meet up with our broker Dave, we walked around Gig Harbour, checked out the area and the different marinas and docks, keeping our eye out to see if we could find our boat. So we're cruising down around the docks and we found our boat. And that is it right there. I wish we filmed a bit more walking up to the boat for the first time, but with our broker, the 2 listing brokers, and the surveyor on board, things were happening really quick and time was ticking. We needed to get the boat off the dock and over to Gig Harbour Marina to get it hauled out and our first part of our inspection and survey. As the surveyor was checking out the underside of the boat, he did find a little bit of damage on some of the gel coat and fiberglass on the transom, but overall everything was pretty solid. The next up was to get the boat in the water and get the sails up, the engine going, and check out the instruments and controls. As you can see, everything was pretty green. The boat had been sitting for quite a while, and as we talked to other people at the marina, they had said in the 8 years they had been there, they'd never seen the boat leave the dock. Hey guys, today is the day. We are heading down to Gig Harbour. We just crossed the border into Blaine, and we got about a 3-hour drive ahead of us. We're going to pop into West Marine and the fisheries to pick up some supplies that we need and get the boat all set up. And with a little luck, we'll be out of here on Christmas Eve, the 24th, sailing back to Vancouver, Canada.
Here we are. We're getting all provisioned up tonight. Got here at around 4 o'clock. We thought we'd get here at about 10 a.m., but unfortunately that didn't happen. Lots of chaos going on.
Good morning. So it's December 24th. Adele's gone out to do some provisions. We were going to try and get out of here maybe today or tomorrow, but we've got a few chores that we still need to do. We need to get some sort of mount on our rail for our outboard. Another thing that is pretty important is dealing with our fuel. Now the boat was 2013, has 50 hours on the engine, so I'm probably guessing we've got 8-year-old fuel in the boat. Problem is fuel. It's about 8 miles away in Foss Harbor from where we are right now. The other problem, the Schreiber panel that is on the boat has a little display and you click the buttons that shows, hey, how much is your battery power, your water tanks, etc. That display is not working, so that's dead. So we have no idea even how much fuel we have on board. Have a liter diesel in the tanks, or do we have half a gallon or half a tank? I have no idea. So we're gonna head out, and we have to do that today when Adele gets back from shopping, because they're closing at 3 o'clock today, and they're not opening up again until the 27th. They're closed for Christmas Day and they're closed Boxing Day. So we're going to head out a little bit later today, and there is a bit of breeze out, so hopefully we can get the sails up. If we can sail most of the way, I think we'll try and do that. Luckily, it was super easy access and docked like pros. We filled up and put in some diesel conditioner and kept our fingers crossed we wouldn't have any fuel issues. And Merry Christmas. Dell's whipping up some breakfast, and just thought we'd talk about our plans today. So we're going to try and get the dinghy, our tender. We haven't inflated or set up or anything like that yet, so I'm going to get that pumped up, get the outboard on, make sure that's all working. It's an outboard that we had up at our cabin up at Roche Lake, which has just been in fresh water, but it's been sitting for, I don't know, maybe 3 years, something like that. Hasn't been used. So hopefully that thing will fire up, and we'll see how it goes. A few other things we can do. We got to get organized and get ready for heading up to Shill Shoal, which is going to be our next stop.
Chris is just getting the dinghy ready for its maiden voyage. Merry Christmas!
Well, it's got the outboard and the tender going for the first time. Got a little 6 horsepower Mercury on our 250 aluminum floor Quicksilver. And it's all right, inflatable floor. It doesn't track the greatest or plane that well, but be able to fit this on the boat and hopefully be out of the way of the self-tapping jib that's makes it kind of hard to get a aluminum rib up on there. Good morning. Today is the day we're heading out of here, and we're going to make our way back to Canada. It's gotten super cold. We got a bunch of snow. Most of it's cleared off the deck right now. I don't think we'll be sailing today, though. All the lines are frozen. The track for the furling boom frozen. But if we can get the motor going, hopefully everything works with that. We're going to have a backup plan who we need to call if our engine conks out, if there's any issues. But it's definitely really chilly out. Probably about 5 hours to get to Shill Shoal from here, depending on our speeds and stuff. We're going against current and going against wind, so it's going to be a little bit of a slow trek. And get up there, and then we're hoping to go to West Marine and Ballard. We've got a few more supplies that we weren't able to find at the small marine shops that are down here. So yeah, exciting day, and we're starting our journey back. We hope you enjoyed our first episode. Hit the like button and subscribe to see our next episode when we start our journey back to Canada during one of the coldest winters in years and have our first bridge encounter.
Yeah, pretty sure we'll fit. Right?